Kevin Mayo, the Amazing Beer Drinking Man, and today we're doing Alpha Dog Imperial IPA from the Laughing Dog Brewery in, Brewery, Idaho. Now an Imperial IPA or a double IPA is a regular IPA on steroids. It's going to be, they tend to be more strong and more bitter. This is 8.5 ABV, website listed at 127 IBUs. Now I've read somewhere that 100 IBUs and that's it. You can't taste any more bitter. But we'll see. This is going to be 127 IBUs. So it should be quite strong and it should be really pack some powerful flavors. Double IPAs are really heavy on the flavor palette. So we're going to go ahead and give this a try. As always, if you like the videos, please subscribe, leave comments. We'll answer all the comments. We're always looking for new friends. Let's pop the top and give it a pour. Never did a beer from Idaho before. Whoa. We have liftoff. A glass of foam. So I would say if you're going to try one of these, I wouldn't do a very aggressive pour. We're going to have to let that settle down. We'll have to edit some of this out a little bit later. Okay, we've worked the foam down a little bit. We can at least look at the color. Got a lot of carbonation. Surprise. It's like a dark orange. It's not perfectly clear. I'm getting a haze. I don't know if it's a chill haze or not. But it's definitely a bright orange flavor, which is very similar, very typical of double IPAs. A little bit off-white, like maybe a slightly tan on the head, on the foam. Obviously, we got more than enough head on this thing. Heck, we started with, what, 7 fingers? We did some of the aromas earlier. But very typical of a double IPA. Malt and citrus and hops and just a lot of fruit flavors. Like I said, orange and grapefruit. Maybe even a little tangerine. I guess we're going to dive in and see what we got here. Malt. The very first thing I'm getting is the malt flavor. And it's not bad. It's actually a very pleasant malt. Almost a little bit like a, I shouldn't say like a dunkel, but I mean, malt was the first flavor that I tasted. Now I'm going to have to say, after like a typical IPA or a double IPA, it's got a real strong bitter aftertaste. If you don't like bitter, or you don't like double IPAs typically, this is not one for you. This is going to have that real bitter aftertaste. This is a butt kicker on the aftertaste. It's got a fairly medium mouthfeel. But yeah, malt, a little bit of, just a hint of the sweetness coming through from the, yeah, just a little sweetness coming through. And then I get a little of that, just a hint of that orange, that orange citrus grapefruit coming through. What happens though is that bitter aftertaste does bomb you at the end. So it will kind of override everything else you taste on it. So to go and take another taste, you kind of got to let that settle down. I'm really surprised. Typically with an IPA, you don't get that strong malt up front, and this one really has it. I don't want to say it's balanced because it really does, that bitter aftertaste. But it's a very interesting flavor profile that you get that malt. Then you get a little bit of sweetness, citrus, and you don't really get a hop bitter. because the real bitter bomb at the end hits you. I can believe it's 127 IBUs. So I would say this is a very interesting Imperial IPA. I like it. I'm drinking it. I'd have to. Sometimes you'll get. Sometimes when you're reviewing, sometimes you're thinking about the style. Is it true to the style? So you'll grade it higher or lower because of that. Other times you're just saying, I really like this beer. I'm going ahead and grade it on my taste. I like this beer a lot. I would think that this is not for everybody. This is definitely not. This is not your mama's beer. That's for sure. So I would give it 4 caps out of 6. I like it a lot. Not the best double IPA I ever had. It's not a Dogfish 120, that's for sure, but it's very, very, very good. Lots of flavors going on, interesting flavors going on, a little over-carbonated. But, again, I'm giving it 4 caps. That's really to my taste. This is one that if you're not into bitter beers, I would be real careful before I jump on this train. So until next time, this is the Amazing Beer Drinking Man.